I'm Zhang. I'll be reading an excerpt from my book, Anxious China. An uneasy feeling crept into my heart as I stared at the WeChat on my cell phone. It was an evening in October 2014. It had been 2 months since I had last spoken to my childhood best friend, Hongnan, who lived in my hometown, Kunming. Recently, I had tried to contact her several times, leaving many voice messages, but I had gotten no answer back. I had grown worried and finally called her house phone. After 5 rings, someone answered, but I did not recognize the voice. This is Lee calling from America. I'm looking for my friend Hongnan. Is this her house? After a long pause, the person said slowly, I am Hongnan Lee. Sorry for being out of touch. I could tell instantly that something was wrong, as her voice was strangely weak and almost shaky. Are you all right? You do not sound like yourself, I asked carefully. After another long pause, she replied with some hesitation. I'm not well. I've got depression and anxiety. It's pretty severe. I've not been able to go outside the house for a week. I was utterly shocked because this was a woman who had always seemed to be cheerful, dynamic, and strong, and she was a part time psychotherapist herself. In fact, it was she who had introduced me to the Chinese counseling domain. I feel like I'm falling into a deep, dark hole. I can see light above, but have no desire or strength to climb out. Even worse, I fear that people around me might find out what I'm going through, so I just want to hide. The most difficult thing is that I cannot tell anyone. They do not understand and will laugh at me. I lied to my colleagues that I had food poisoning and thus could not go to work. At this moment, even thousands of miles away, I could feel the double heavy weight she was carrying, the struggle with her own inner distress, and the attempt to conceal her emotional pain from colleagues, friends, and family. I was saddened to realize that even a therapist could not overcome the social stigma attached to emotional disorder. Honan was not alone. Many of the people I met during my 8 years of research were struggling from different forms of psychological distress in this rapidly changing society.